Jason Cade tightened his grip on the controls as the radar blinked frantically. The dark silhouette of an alien vessel loomed behind the cargo freighter, moving with impossible speed, yet strangely silent. No alarm, no weapons fire, just a shadow tracking his every move. "Control, this is Cade. I have a tail. Confirm visual." His voice trembled slightly, betraying the tension. The response crackled through the comms. "Visual confirmed, Cade. Maintain course. Do not engage unless absolutely necessary." Jason cursed under his breath. He had been hauling rare minerals from the outer rim to the Sol sector, a routine job that should have been boring. Instead, he'd stumbled into something no human had ever faced, a solitary alien ship with capabilities far beyond anything Earth had encountered. The freighter shuddered as Jason pushed the engines past safe limits. Behind him, the alien craft mirrored his maneuvers, almost as if it could anticipate his every action. Panic began to gnaw at his chest. He glanced at the cargo bay. The containers of experimental tech hummed faintly. That tech, the so-called Project Prometheus, was classified. If the aliens realized what he carried... He didn't finish the thought. The freighter jolted violently. A pulse of energy, invisible but powerful, slammed into the hull. Lights flickered. Jason's stomach dropped as alarms blared. "Not good," he muttered, scanning the ship's status. "Shields at 30%. Hull integrity at 60. Escape pods operational, but useless against a ship that could crush them with a thought." Then, a message blinked onto the main screen, a holographic emblem of the alien craft. It wasn't words. It was a warning, a pulse of data that resonated directly in his mind, forming shapes, sounds, and an undeniable threat. Leave the cargo or die. Jason swallowed hard. No, he couldn't. Humanity couldn't afford to lose Project Prometheus. He gritted his teeth, maneuvering sharply toward a nearby asteroid field. The freighter weaved between massive rocks, engines screaming. Behind him, the alien ship followed, adjusting effortlessly. Every tactic Jason had learned in the academy seemed primitive now. Then, a sudden idea struck him. If it's tracking me... He pulled up the freighter's cloaking module, an experimental feature never tested in combat. Energy readings spiked. Hull lights dimmed. Jason held his breath. The alien ship hesitated. One pulse, then another. Its massive form wavered as if confused. Jason's pulse raced. He wasn't out of danger, but maybe, just maybe, he'd bought a little time. Then came a transmission, Earth command. Static first, then the unmistakable voice of Admiral Rowe. "Cade, the weapon. You must survive. The future depends on it. Project Prometheus. It's humanity's only hope." Jason's stomach churned. Weapon? Project Prometheus wasn't supposed to be a weapon. Not exactly. It was theoretical, a power humanity had barely begun to understand. If he could deliver it, maybe the aliens wouldn't just take him down. They might underestimate what humans were capable of. As the freighter darted deeper into the asteroid field, Jason glimpsed the alien ship through the shattered light. Bigger than any human ship, impossible by all standards of physics. But something in its movements, something almost curious. It wasn't just hunting him, it was studying him. A shiver ran down Jason's spine. He realized the chase was not just about the cargo. It was about testing humanity. And if humanity failed, there would be no second chance. He adjusted the freighter's trajectory toward a narrow canyon of jagged asteroids, praying the alien size would work against it. "Come on, old girl," he muttered to the freighter. "Let's see what you can do." The ship lunged forward, squeezing between two massive rocks. Jason held his breath. The freighter shuddered as it scraped against the surface. Behind him, the alien vessel tried the same, massive arms of its hull tearing against the stone. A piece broke off, tumbling into the void, and the alien slowed, giving Jason a split-second edge. For the first time, hope flared. Maybe humans could survive this. Maybe Project Prometheus really was the key. And then, a massive shadow fell across his viewport. Jason looked up, and froze. A second alien ship, larger than the first, emerged from behind the asteroids. This wasn't a chase anymore. This was an ambush. Jason Cade gritted his teeth. Humanity had a secret weapon, but delivering it alive was about to become the hardest mission of his life. Jason's hands shook as the second alien ship eclipsed the first, massive hulls cutting off the dim starlight. His freighter, a mere cargo vessel, seemed insignificant against this overwhelming force. Every instinct screamed, "Run." But running wasn't enough. He had a cargo that could change the war, Project Prometheus. If humanity had any chance, it depended on him surviving this encounter. "Control, I'm surrounded. Request immediate extraction." Jason's voice was raw, almost desperate. Static answered. Then Admiral Rowe's calm voice. "No extraction. You are on your own, Cade. This is the test. Deliver the payload, or humanity will not survive." Jason cursed. On his own. Just him, the freighter, and the alien hunters. He glanced at the cargo bay, where Project Prometheus hummed faintly. The device, a compact, spherical construct of unknown alloys and glowing energy filaments, was not just advanced technology. It was a seed of humanity's potential, a weapon designed to manipulate space-time itself. Scientists on Earth had theorized it could create distortions large enough to disable alien systems, even tear apart ships from within. But it was untested, unproven, dangerous, and now it was his only hope. "All right," Jason muttered to himself. "Let's see what you're made of, old girl." He activated the freighter's stealth field again. Lights dimmed, engines hummed silently. But the alien vessels were already reacting. Pulses of energy swept the asteroid field, probing for anomalies. The freighter shuddered as a pulse grazed the hull. Jason adjusted course, weaving through the jagged rocks with the precision of a seasoned pilot. Each maneuver was a gamble. One wrong move could mean instant annihilation. Behind him, the first alien ship recovered from its earlier scrape and closed in, faster than before. The second ship remained stationary, blocking his retreat. It was a trap, and he was smack in the middle. He exhaled slowly. Focus. That was all he had. Suddenly, the freighter sensors picked up a narrow gap between two massive asteroids, a path just wide enough for the freighter, but impossible for the alien vessels. It was risky. Too risky. One miscalculation, and he'd be crushed. Jason made his decision. No other choice. Engines at maximum, he slammed the freighter into the gap. The hull screamed against the rock walls, sparks flying. The first alien ship attempted to follow, but its massive frame couldn't adjust fast enough. Jason shot a glance backward. The alien collided with the asteroid, tearing a gash along its hull. Metal bent and cracked. The alien let out a strange shriek, almost like frustration or anger. He didn't wait to see. He barreled through the canyon, adrenaline pumping, heart hammering. The second ship moved to intercept, but the terrain worked in Jason's favor. Narrow passages slowed the alien advance. For the first time, he felt a flicker of hope. Then came a sudden ping from the cargo bay. The device, the Prometheus core, was reacting, pulsing faster, its energy filaments glowing brighter. Jason froze. He hadn't activated it manually. A holographic display flickered in the cockpit, forming intricate patterns and symbols. It wasn't just a weapon. It was alive, in a sense, reacting to the danger, perhaps sensing the alien presence. Jason's mind raced. If it could do this automatically, maybe he didn't need to fight. Maybe he just needed to survive long enough for Prometheus to reach its full potential. But survival was proving difficult. The first alien ship had recovered, spinning violently to cut him off. Laser pulses streaked past the freighter, slicing chunks of rock from the canyon walls. Jason dodged, narrowly avoiding a fatal hit. Sparks flew across the control panel. Hull integrity was dropping fast. Shields at 20%. "Come on," he muttered. "Just a little longer." Suddenly, the freighter shuddered violently. A beam of energy struck the cargo bay directly. Prometheus flared brilliantly, sending a shock wave through the ship. Jason was thrown from his seat as the freighter twisted in space. For a moment, everything went white. When he opened his eyes, the alien ships were gone. The asteroid field was silent. The freighter floated, battered but intact. And in the cargo bay, Prometheus pulsed steadily, its energy now stable, glowing like a heartbeat. Jason exhaled, barely able to believe it. Somehow, the device had protected them. Somehow, humanity's secret weapon had activated on its own. Then, his comms crackled again. Admiral Rowe's voice, calm but urgent. "Cade, Prometheus is ready. Prepare to deliver it to Earth Command. The war is far from over, but humanity now has a fighting chance." Jason nodded, exhaustion and relief mingling. He had survived the impossible chase. And now, armed with the weapon that could change the course of human history, he was humanity's last hope. But deep in the void, a shadow lingered. The alien vessels had retreated, but they were not defeated. And Jason knew this. They would be back. Faster, smarter, deadlier. And next time, humanity might not get a second chance. Jason Cade floated in the cockpit, staring at the steady pulse of Project Prometheus in the cargo bay. The freighter had survived the ambush, but the scars on the hull were deep reminders that the aliens weren't defeated. They were calculating, waiting. "Systems stable," Jason muttered, running his hands over the console. "Barely, but stable." The comm crackled. Admiral Rowe's voice, calm and precise. "Cade, listen carefully. Prometheus is more than a weapon. It's a tactical system designed to manipulate alien technology. You may have seen it react, but that was only the first stage. The full effect requires proximity. You will have to engage." Jason's stomach tightened. Engage? He had survived an ambush, and now he was expected to confront them? He swallowed hard and adjusted the freighter's course. Earth Command had designated a nearby system as the test site, a region of sparse asteroids and a deep gravity well, perfect for a controlled engagement. If Prometheus worked, it could disable the alien ships without risking Earth itself. As he approached the coordinates, sensors lit up with faint energy readings. He frowned. 2 alien ships, hidden in the shadows of the asteroid field, were observing him. They hadn't chased him back to their territory. They were waiting, calculating. Jason exhaled. So much for the element of surprise. He activated Prometheus manually for the first time. The spherical core lifted from its containment field, floating silently in the cargo bay. Filaments of energy spiraled outward, glowing in patterns too complex for any human to fully comprehend. The freighter hummed in response, shields and engines feeding into the device. Then, the alien ships moved. Faster than any human reaction, they launched a synchronized attack. Beams of energy cut through the vacuum, striking asteroids and creating a storm of debris. Jason barely dodged, twisting the freighter with all the skill he had. Sparks flew along the control panels. Come on, he muttered. Prometheus pulsed again, its energy growing stronger, reacting to the alien ship's movements. It was almost as if it could anticipate them. Jason had no choice. He engaged the core fully. A surge of energy enveloped the freighter, extending outward like a rippling shield. The alien vessels hit the perimeter, and for a moment, time seemed to slow. The first ship shuddered violently. Systems overloaded. Jason watched in awe as circuits inside the alien hull sparked and flared. The vessel wrenched itself free of its attack trajectory, spinning out of control. The second ship hesitated, scanning the first. Jason seized the moment. He directed Prometheus toward it, concentrating the energy output. Filaments extended like invisible fingers, weaving into the alien ship's systems. Alarms blared in the alien vessel. Lights flickered. It wrenched violently and then froze, suspended in space, powerless. Jason exhaled, heart racing. He had done it. Humanity's secret weapon had worked. But the victory was short-lived. A deep, resonating pulse echoed through the asteroid field. A signal. The alien ships weren't just machines. They were part of a larger network, a hive mind. And now, that network knew the humans had a weapon. "Control, this is Cade," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Prometheus has disabled 2 ships, but there's a larger force out there. They know we're armed." Admiral Rowe's voice was grave. "Cade, the enemy will respond. This is only the beginning. Earth Command is preparing a full-scale deployment of Prometheus. You must survive to deliver the data and the core. Humanity depends on it." Jason nodded. He felt the weight of the mission pressing down on him. He had survived the initial ambush, survived the first engagement, but the real war was just beginning. He adjusted the freighter's course for Earth Command's secure station, Prometheus humming steadily behind him. The journey would be long, dangerous, and filled with unknown threats. But for the first time, Jason felt a glimmer of hope. Humanity had a weapon, and with it, they might just stand a chance against the alien menace. As the freighter sped through the void, Jason allowed himself one brief thought. Survival wasn't enough anymore. Humanity needed victory, and the first strike had shown that Prometheus could deliver it. But somewhere deep in the shadows of space, the alien network was recalibrating. The lesson had been learned. Humans were no longer defenseless. And next time, they would not underestimate them. Jason tightened his grip on the controls. "Bring it on," he muttered, determination hardening his features. "If they want a war, we'll give them one they'll never forget." The stars stretched into streaks of light as the freighter jumped into hyperspace. Project Prometheus glowed steadily behind him, a beacon of hope, and a promise of humanity's defiance. The real battle had only just begun. Jason Cade's freighter emerged from hyperspace into the sprawling Earth Command orbital station, a fortress suspended above the blue and white swirl of Earth below. Project Prometheus pulsed steadily in the cargo bay, now fully stabilized, its energy resonating with the station's systems. He knew that the coming engagement would be humanity's first true test against the alien network. Docking sequence initiated, the automated system announced. Jason guided the freighter carefully, mindful of the battered hull. One wrong move and all the work, all the hope, would vanish. As the clamps secured the freighter, Admiral Rowe met him in the command deck, eyes hard with focus. "Cade, you've done well," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "Now comes the real operation. Prometheus isn't just a defensive tool. It's humanity's first offensive strike. The aliens will be targeting key human colonies. If we delay, millions will die." Jason swallowed hard. He had survived ambushes, evasive maneuvers, and the first strike, but the idea of entire colonies under threat brought a new weight. He nodded. "What's the plan?" Rowe tapped a holographic display. Blue dots marked human colonies. Red marks indicated alien fleets en route. "We'll deploy Prometheus units in orbit around the most vulnerable colonies. The devices will act autonomously, interfacing with alien systems as they approach. Your experience shows us that human pilots can enhance their effectiveness, but this will be dangerous. Some ships might survive initial deployment." Jason's eyes flicked to the holographic model. The scale of the operation hit him. Hundreds of alien vessels moving toward human space, and only a handful of Prometheus cores to stop them. "And the risk to us?" Rowe's gaze didn't waver. "High, but necessary. You understand that, don't you?" He nodded. "I do. Let's get it done." The next hours were a blur of preparation. Jason oversaw the calibration of Prometheus units, synchronizing them with human control systems and inputting attack protocols based on his encounter with the aliens. Every detail mattered. Every miscalculation could mean disaster. Finally, the deployment began. Jason piloted the lead Prometheus-laden freighter toward the first target, the mining colony on Tau 7, a remote asteroid rich in rare minerals. Sensors indicated the alien fleet was closing in fast. "Here goes nothing," Jason muttered, activating the first core. Prometheus lifted from its containment field, energy filaments spiraling outward like living tendrils. The alien ships reacted almost instantly, attempting to recalibrate and counter the new interference. But Prometheus adapted faster. Its energy pulses resonated directly with the alien network, causing entire squadrons to falter, systems overloading. Jason guided the freighter through the chaos, dodging erratic attacks from disabled alien vessels. The display lit up. Several ships were tumbling out of control, drifting helplessly into the void. The colony below remained untouched. Humanity had survived the first wave. But the victory was short-lived. A massive shadow appeared on sensors, an alien dreadnought, far larger than anything Jason had faced before, moving toward the colony. Its systems were advanced, seemingly resistant to Prometheus' initial effects. "Control," Jason said urgently. "We have a problem. That dreadnought isn't responding to the Prometheus units." Rowe's voice was steady, but tense. "We anticipated this. Jason, you need to engage directly. Use the combined energy of the freighters and Prometheus cores. This is your first real test of full-scale deployment." Jason's stomach twisted. Up to now, Prometheus had acted as a defense and a deterrent. Now, he had to use it as a weapon against a massive alien force. He coordinated the remaining freighters, synchronizing their Prometheus cores. The energy output surged, filaments intertwining into a glowing web of power that extended like a net toward the dreadnought. Jason's hands moved over the controls, guiding the energy with precision, each adjustment a gamble. The alien ship reacted violently, beams of energy slicing through the void. Sparks and debris from smaller vessels cascaded around them, but Jason held steady. Prometheus pulsed brighter, feeding on his focus and intent. Slowly, the dreadnought systems began to fail. Shields collapsed, engines stuttered, and its massive hull groaned as the energy web tightened. Then, with a final surge, the dreadnought exploded in a brilliant flash of light. Jason watched, breathless, as fragments drifted harmlessly into space. For the first time, he allowed himself a moment of relief. Humanity had struck back, and it had worked. The colonies were safe, for now. But the victory was fragile. Jason knew the aliens would learn, adapt, and return. Prometheus was humanity's secret weapon, yes, but it was only the beginning. The war had escalated, and every victory now carried the weight of survival for the entire species. As Jason returned to Earth Command, he felt the enormity of what had just happened. Humanity had fought back. Humanity had won its first battle. But the war was far from over, and in the cold, dark reaches of space, the aliens were already planning their counterstrike. Jason clenched his fists. Humanity had a weapon, and now they would need every ounce of courage, every bit of ingenuity, to survive the fight to come. Jason Cade's freighter cut through the void, carrying Project Prometheus like a glowing heart of hope. Reports streamed in from human colonies across the Sol sector. Minor skirmishes, disrupted supply lines, but nothing catastrophic. Humanity had survived the initial alien assault. For now. But the calm was deceptive. Sensors suddenly blared. A massive fleet, hundreds of alien ships, emerging from the dark edges of known space. They weren't probing this time. They were attacking. Full scale, coordinated, relentless. "Admiral Rowe, they're coming," Jason said, gripping the controls. "All fleets, all Prometheus units, engage immediately." Rowe's voice was firm. "Cade, this is it. The aliens have committed everything they have. Prometheus will be humanity's final line. Your job is to lead them into the engagement. Do not fail." Jason's stomach tightened. Failure wasn't an option. He took a deep breath, activating Prometheus fully. The spherical core floated in the cargo bay, energy filaments radiating outward, spiraling like living fire. Every human freighter equipped with Prometheus responded in resonance, forming a vast, glowing network of power. The alien fleet advanced. Massive ships, their hulls black and jagged, bristled with weapons. Jason's freighter dove into the formation, weaving between energy blasts, guiding Prometheus tendrils toward the enemy vessels. The first alien ships hit the network. Sparks and beams flared as their systems faltered. Shields collapsed. Engines stuttered. Ships drifted, helpless. The network pulsed, reacting to the pilot's intent, concentrating its energy like a living organism focused on survival. Jason shouted over the comms, "Push it! Push it to full capacity!" The Prometheus cores glowed brighter, brighter than anything humanity had ever seen. Energy waves surged outward, engulfing the alien fleet. One by one, the ships shuddered, then exploded in flashes of white light. The network's tendrils extended further, seeking the largest vessels, the dreadnoughts, the command ships, the very heart of the alien assault. But the aliens were cunning. A massive ship, faster and smarter than the rest, broke through the outer defenses and aimed directly at Earth Command. Jason's pulse quickened. If that ship reached the station, humanity's command structure, the coordination, the morale, it would all collapse. He focused, guiding Prometheus directly at the threat. The core pulsed violently, energy spiraling outward in intricate patterns, connecting with the alien vessel. For a moment, everything went silent. Then came a massive surge. The ship's systems overloaded, sparks flying as its hull ruptured. It exploded before it could reach Earth Command. Jason exhaled, wiping sweat from his brow. Humanity was holding, but the battle was far from over. From the shadows, another wave of alien ships emerged, this time coordinated, faster, smarter. Jason felt the weight of responsibility press down on him. Prometheus was powerful, but could it handle the full force of the alien armada? He glanced at the cargo bay, where the core pulsed steadily. "It's now or never," he muttered. He activated the final protocol, the ultimate amplification. Energy filaments shot outward like lightning, forming a vast lattice across space. Prometheus became a superconductor of humanity's will, interfacing with every ship in the fleet. The alien armada hit the lattice, and chaos erupted. Energy ripped through their hulls, systems overloaded, communications jammed. Ships collided, engines exploded, and massive beams of energy lit up the darkness. Prometheus was not just a weapon, it was a force of nature, an embodiment of human ingenuity and determination. Jason felt the freighter shake violently. He gritted his teeth, holding the course. Through the cockpit window, he saw the aliens retreating, scattering into the void. Entire squadrons destroyed, dreadnoughts incapacitated, their command network fractured. Humanity had struck back, and won. Silence fell. The freighter floated amid the debris of the alien fleet, a testament to the power of Prometheus and the courage of those who wielded it. Jason exhaled deeply, exhaustion and relief washing over him. Admiral Rowe's voice came over the comms, calm but filled with emotion. "Cade, you've done it. Humanity has survived the greatest threat it has ever faced. Prometheus worked beyond our expectations. The aliens, they will not return easily. You have given our species a chance." Jason leaned back, finally allowing himself to feel the weight of victory. Humanity had faced extinction, had stared into the abyss, and had fought back with ingenuity, courage, and the secret weapon that had turned the tide. But in the quiet corners of space, Jason knew the lesson lingered. The aliens would return. Faster, smarter, deadlier. Humanity's survival depended on vigilance, on ingenuity, and on the will to fight. For now, though, humanity had survived, and Jason Cade, with Project Prometheus glowing behind him, had become the symbol of a species that refused to be conquered. The stars stretched endlessly around him, and in that vast darkness, one truth shone brighter than any light: humans would fight. Humans would endure. And humans would prevail. Project Prometheus pulsed steadily, a heartbeat of hope for all of mankind.